I don't know. I think that Crash Bandicoot remaster could be pretty good. I mean, it looks promising, looks very nice. It seems to be pretty faithful. Who knows?
Are you sure? Activision tends to really destroy everything they touch. Look at Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one worry, but I don't know. It feels like something about this one could be potentially different. Perhaps there's something different this time around.
I just hope Gran Turismo Sport's good and Ace Combat 7's good, because video games, yeah.
You know, you bring up good points. At least on the bright side, my crew works.
Yeah, that's also a pretty good thing.
The PlayStation roster has actually gotten really better over the past couple of months.
Yeah.
Good track record, if you think about it.
There's a pretty good track record.
Speaking of records and recording things, aren't you supposed to be recording things for your next LP or something?
Oh, shit! You're right! Oh, God!
Oh, no.
I gotta grab something.
Okay, I have to get my story straight. I'm gonna move to Tokyo and I'm gonna change my name to Wang. I'm
gotta
gonna
grab something.
shopping.
Where's the disc?
Macy!
Where's my disc?
Take the CD! Oh, goodness! Put it in the drive! Run it! Quick! It'll distract them!
I got it! I'm putting it in!
Come on, do it!
Here, it's in! Okay. I got it in. We're just pressing enter. Let's go. Okay, we're good.
I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors, and it's the only way I live in cars. Here in my car, I can hardly receive. I can listen to you, and it keeps me stable for days and hours.
Hey guys, it's Center here, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play, one that I felt was kind of necessary to do. I apologize, I haven't been really making any videos. I know Midtown Menace 3 isn't complete yet. There's a demo. But I felt I just wanted to get something out for you guys since I know it's been a while. I do apologize for the lack of content, but I thought I'd just get another LP going because I felt like I kind of really just wanted to play this for some reason. This is Test Drive 6, released in 1999 for the PlayStation, PC, and I think shortly later the Sega Dreamcast. I'm playing it on the PlayStation. I was going to play it on PC. Couldn't get that working because it doesn't like Windows 10. And so we're just doing the PlayStation version instead. I got all the fancy things so it will look as good as it ever can. And of course, you probably heard from that little intro, I'm not alone here. So I've got some people with me.
What do you mean, of course you're alone?
Yes, Q from the intro is not here at the moment, but we do have GameWiz, Zero, LRC, Scotian, and joining us this time around is Torrent. I guess he's filling
Did you try and get my name wrong?
What, Torrent?
You just went, Torrent.
I had my brain stopped for a second. Anyways, so what we're going to be doing here, this is going to for the most part be a complete playthrough of the game. We, though, first need a car, because we don't have a car, so all we got is the garage or to load and save. So we're going to go into the garage here, and we're going to grab ourselves a Class 1 car, because that's the first class you start with.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Now, you're going to probably notice here these cars, graphically, many of them haven't aged particularly very well. The Lotus Elise, for example, is not a particularly very appealing car.
Sad face.
It's not the best car in the class either, so we're not going to be choosing that.
That's impression.
We got the Audi TT here, which is also, has not aged very well.
God-awful.
Decent top
it's
speed
got
for
a
the class,
bubble
but we're poor acceleration and not great handling, so we're not going to choose that either. Marco's Manta Ray, which is pretty decently powerful for the class, but it's not the best handling either, and, we're not going to go with that. Lotus 3 Turbo is actually a pretty decent car for the class. It's decent acceleration, decent handling, and everything. but we'll pass.
Also, but it's got turbo on it.
Ford F1, yep,
Oh.
apparently. Ford F-150 Lightning, which is surprisingly decent for the class. It's a truck, it's actually decent, but handling could be better. XKR, which is the only car so far that we actually cannot afford, which is a bit of a bummer because it is one of the better cars in the class, but as you don't have enough money for it at the start, we can't get it.
Oh god.
Plymouth Prowler, which is very ugly in this game, also kind of mediocre.
Lights are floating.
Plymouth Hemi-Cuda, which is that's not a 1972, that is a 1971. They got that wrong, so that's out. 69 Charger is also out because this is a 1970, not a 1969 as the game specifies. Mustang, which is, you know, it's all right, but if I wanted a Mustang, I'd rather have the 428 Cobra Jet here, which is a little better. But the one I'm gonna go with is this one, the Caterham 7. The reason why is that it's got really good acceleration, top speed's about on par with the class, and is one of the better handling ones. So for that reason, we're gonna go with it. So,
Well, it's a Caterham. It's expected to handle.
so we're gonna go. So with the paint, let's go with.
Star Nose, right?
I don't know about
Looks
that.
a little festive. Oh, there you go.
I'm just trying to think. That white didn't look as bright as I was kind of hoping it to be. It looks more like gray. So
The color system in this game is just. It's there, yeah, but it was kind of.
We'll go
I
with the
feel
red
like it
and
was
black.
kind of half-assed. Like,
So-
some colors will look really good, and other colors will just be like, dude, no. And some won't even get all the way to be white or
So
all
yeah,
black.
yeah. So anyways, so now that we've actually got our car, all these other ones open up. You can do some single races, which is just basically for a bit of quick cash. We're not really going to be bothering with this one because you can't really do much with it anyways. Your tournament races, this is where the main mode is going to be. So this is what we're going to be spending most of our time with in the game. So cop chase is you could be a cop car and you'll have stop the races, and as well as another mode, stop the bomber, which we have to unlock later on.
What is this?
Out of my fucking way, you
And then we got
morons.
some challenges here, which there's only 6, and they're kind of laughable, really. So they're not really worth doing. But
Challenge.
yeah.
However,
so,
you can go back through after you complete it and try and beat your old time, and you
Right.
get money if you do.
we're gonna,
so
but
if you
we'll come back. We'll go to the we'll come to the challenges later. First up, though, we're gonna do the tournament race. We got the first class 1 tour 1 here. The minimum bet of 600 and a maximum bet of 2,000. And because I'm a bit crazy, we're gonna be using the maximum bet each time. Now I do have a little bit of money, so let's put some extra power into the car, some better brakes, even put better tires as well too. Not the suspension though; they'll have to come later. And since our maximum bet is apparently only 600, what? Oh yeah, because 600 is all we have. Fair enough. So for
You
that,
tried.
I mean, so far we got. So here's how the prize money works. You get your first place, second place, third place. That just tells you how much money you get, and the overall tournament pot, which is what you'll get at the end. That'll keep increasing the further you go into the tournament. But for now, it's at just a simple 1,800. So let's start with the first track of Test Drive 6 in the tournament, Pelton Raceway. I'm just gonna speed the loading up a little bit.
Didn't they have some kind of a raceway? Oh, right, yeah, Pitbull Raceway or Speedway or something, a Demolition Racer.
Yeah, this is Pelton, but this is Pelton Raceway. So it's pretty much.
Go ahead.
It's pretty much a very well, as you can see, very much like a circuit race, and everything's
Yeah.
kind of exactly what you would probably expect.
No
Can you
police
hear the
cars,
soundtrack?
traffic to intrude on your fun.
Can
Yeah,
you hear the
pretty much.
soundtrack? Because we certainly can't.
Yeah, the sound. I did have to turn the music a bit down, and that's mostly just sadly down to copyright reasons because of how YouTube's copyright system works. So that's why you're mostly hearing more car, if anything.
Yeah.
And you're hearing us.
What I mean, it's clearly because you want to be more ad-friendly.
You know, you may be right. But as you can see, this is pretty much why the Caterham's a pretty good choice. I might not have the analog. Actually, no, I do have the analog turned on. Never mind. But yeah, you can see here the car's got good handling. It doesn't slide pretty much out. It can go through the corners pretty well. And acceleration is also a good strong point for the Caterham, so that is why I decided to go with the Caterham. So pretty fair enough. I also like how they have I also like how they have some Motor Week sponsorships on this.
Oops.
Yeah, because clearly we're not making enough money from ad revenue, so let's just slather the game up.
I mean, there's
Hey,
only
man, they gotta make the game more realistic.
Whoa, that lightning!
Lightning is lightning quick.
I guess that lightning went. Oh.
You are gonna notice pretty soon that the AI can be a bit of a cheating bastard in this game. So, just one thing to kind of keep in mind. They'll fall back behind, and then they'll suddenly just burst into speed, and then suddenly, oops, they passed you.
Well, you see, they had secret
sounds
knobs.
like Mario Kart 64 rubber banding.
Yep, but we managed to get our position back from the lightning and secure first place right at the start of the game. So that's a good way to kick things off. Who's of course
It's
also
probably like, wait a
high
minute,
score.
this truck's not supposed to be so fast.
You can see your high scores there, but as you can see, the high scores are all pretty easy to beat, so nothing really worth, I guess, really going for. But anyways,
placed first.
So that's our tournament standing so far. The tournaments are just not determined by points; they're determined by the overall time for each race. So even if you do poorly in a race, so if you still overall time-wise have been doing better, you still have a good chance of winning. So it's a pretty clever way of doing that. We won't save right now because, you know, emulator, I can just use some save states and then I can save off screen anyways. So next up we have is Cape Hatteras. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, please feel free to correct me. So now that we have 1,050, let's increase our maximum bet to that, which means that this race will get 1,837 credits, and so far the overall tournament pot is 4,950. So
let me get this straight. The tournament is rally rolls.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yep, it's rally rules. So Cape Hatteras, so this game is very much circuit-based focus. Unlike Test Drive 5, where it had a good combination of sprint races and circuit races, Test Drive 6 mostly has circuit races. It does have some sprint races.
Well done.
Flipping, but
Bravo.
But it does have some. Whoa! It does have most
It
of the
does
circuit
have some
races, but it
woes
has some
indeed.
sprint races as well.
Oops.
But one of the reasons I felt like playing TD6 first rather than the other Test Drive games is because the more I play this one, the more I feel that this might actually, of the three, might be one of the better ones. Simply because there's a lot of small improvements that this game has over the older games that kind of, in the long run, actually makes up for quite a bit. One of them is the handling is a lot more forgiving. The cars will still kind of skid like in the earlier games, but you do generally have a lot more control. Another thing is that whenever you crash into a traffic vehicle, you may have saw there that they started flipping around like crazy, and that's still possible, obviously. But in Test Drive 6, they actually made it so that you can crash into a car, but it's not. It doesn't automatically mean you're going to start flipping. You may just run into the car, may just leap into the air and land back down, or you may just run into the car and the traffic car takes most of the grunt.
Uh-oh.
I believe there was a
Bit of a
full
predecessor to
car
Burnout
there.
Revenge, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, but yeah, so some of these little general. Whoa!
Well done, Cuda.
That CUDA took a big one. But yeah, these little general improvements kind of add up to a lot the more I think about it. And also, one other thing, you saw some cop cars there. Now, the cop cars aren't really a big issue in this game because they're just generally improved. In the older games, especially, I think, Test Drive 5, the cops would only ever go after you, which was annoying. And what would end up happening was that it would... If all they had to do was get in front of your car, even if you're going at like 150 miles an hour, and you'd be forced to come to a halt. But in this game, the cops will go after anybody, so not just you, and the only way for them to bust you is that you have to pretty much be at a you already have to become down. You have to already be at a complete halt. So just those small little improvements tend to me, the more I think about it, just add up in the long run for this game, which kind of gives Test Drive 6 a good advantage. So that was pretty damn close between me and that 5-liter Mustang. Look at that. That time difference.
Oh.
He was on my ass, but I held off for that win.
Bro, he triggered his super ultra mega rubber banding to try and beat you.
Yep, so
Arcade
anyways,
edition.
the last of these are at London, and just because I can afford it, let's get that last suspension. And actually, there's also, I guess, another thing. You can also adjust the gearboxes, so we'll give the Caterham a little bit more acceleration, just so it can be kind of a bit stupid.
Holy shit.
Brakes, we don't really need to touch. Tires, you can't. Tires, there's nothing anyways. And then suspension. And then suspension, let's get a little bit better cornering, so we'll move that about 2 over to the right for soft, as we do the final race of the first tournament at a sprint race, London. And because I only have 837, I gotta bring my bet down just a little bit down to that, which means this race I'll get 1,464 credits, and currently the tournament pot is 7,461. So we'll make we'll make a little bit more money than what I started with after buying this car.
That's a lot of months.
You'll have the monies.
So London, it's personally one of my more favorite sprint tracks in the game, especially because it starts with a nice big jump, and this game, just like Test Drive 4, and especially since Test Drive 5, has the little trick where if you go into a jump, lift off the throttle, and as soon as you land down, back on the throttle, you'll get like a bit of a speed boost.
There are those Fokin wankers.
Yes, clearly.
Test Drive 5 was fairly interesting. I remember about a year ago I tried to play through it, didn't get very far because the gear ratios for some of the cars were just strange. Like, if any of you know the muscle cars had this stupidly high 200-mile-an-hour top speed, you put it in 4th and it's just nothing to about 160, and then all of a sudden it just starts speeding the hell up.
Yeah, it's
Bro, it triggered its muscle.
That's why I think in this game they kind of toned it back. The fastest muscle car in the game is an understandably fast one to begin with, the Cobra. I think they did that purposely because the gearing ratios were never really that good in the earlier games. So and they probably thought in this game might as well just kind of make it more like how it probably would have actually been. And I completely understand them for doing that. So hey, that tends to work pretty well. So. Yep. This is actually, just like in Test Drive 5, these sprint races are checkpoint based. Now in the tournament you don't really have to worry, but in other modes, especially if you're doing the practice mode, you'll probably come across where you're going to have to, you'll be under a time limit for the checkpoints, and when of course, every checkpoint you hit, you gain more time. In the tournament mode, oh my god. Oh god.
Wii U, Sir Pullover.
It's the bully, Sir Reginald. We must away.
That was pretty interesting, but in this game, personally, though, you just don't really have to worry about. Oh, I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. That was an XKR.
BXK.
Oops.
Something differences between the two games.
Something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Leads.
Something, fuck the police.
It's coming straight from the underground.
Oops.
But yeah, one thing you're probably going to notice very soon about this game is cross. Oh, get out of the way, please.
Get out of the way, you stupid Range Rover.
Couldn't see you.
Get out of the way, you stupid git.
Yeah, one of the things you're definitely going to be noticing is that there's a lot of cross traffic in this game, and that kind of really gets in the way the further you get into, because you're going to go, especially when you're driving the faster cars, they'll go like stupid fast the way the traffic's programmed. It's really dumb.
Well, it's London traffic. What do you expect?
I'm not talking about just London traffic. I'm just talking about anywhere that has cross traffic in this game. It doesn't matter if it's London.
Cross traffic. What do you expect? They gotta beat the red light, bro.
I mean, if you made a video game,
where the hell did that car
set
come
in, like,
from?
I don't know.
Boston, you wouldn't be able to go over 90 miles an hour. You'd just be bumper-to-bumper traffic everywhere. You'd have to jump off of I-95 just to try and move around.
Yeah, that is true. So that was a pretty decisive victory, about 7 seconds over second place with the CUDA. And so that means, for the most part, we won by quite a lot. We won by like over 22 seconds.
Wow.
So we get our our credits from that race and our total prize money from the tournament pot. So there we go. We've got some extra money, which probably means I'll be able to put that into the car a little bit. But as you can see, yeah, it gets a bit pricey. So we might want to kind of...
You're broke.
We might want to kind of keep back a little bit, but for the meantime, no, that's going to do it for this first part. Stay tuned for the next part, where I'm actually probably going to do some challenges, just to show off what they're like anyways. And so stay tuned for that, and as always, guys, if you want to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, donate to Patreon, or go join my forum boards, they're all in the description box down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.
Ciao.
Bye.
Remember, cross traffic sucks.